Hi, my name's Lyle Sopel, and I'm a jade and gemstone artist. You're in my studio today, and I am working on a piece of jade. This is my main sculpting tool, which is a diamond wheel, and I have the diamonds impregnated right in the edge of this grinding wheel, and these are like segmented pieces of like a bronze with a diamond embedded in the bronze. Now they're welded right on that wheel. And that's what's giving me this cutting surface that I'm working with here. And you can see I'm in the process of creating a horned owl. And he's probably at the point where you can understand the shape and how it's coming along. And this is the tool that I use right from a square block. After maybe the corners of the block are cut away, or some cuts are cut into to hollow sections of the form, then I'll go directly to this grindstone and start shaping it. And I'll put in most of the shape I want with this tool, except for anything that's a hole or anything that requires some detail. So I do quite a bit of work with this wheel. And as you can see and hear from the sound that was happening, there's a vacuum behind that takes all the dust away. And there's a lot of water on there that keeps the stone cool as I'm working on it. And it also washes the dust away out of the air. So it gets to be kind of an involved process. There's, the studio is properly designed to take the water away and the air gets sucked out. And I'm properly dressed to do the job. Proper rubber outfit, hat, and so as you can see, this is how the piece gets started. I've fitted it to the petrified wood base that I intend to use, and you can see that it's getting an attitude. So my intention here is to have a mouse sit on the corner of this piece of petrified wood, and the mouse and the owl are going to have a conversation, but probably not a long conversation. I've used an interesting piece of jade, I think, because it's colored. It's got a lot of streaks in it that kind of resemble an owl's body coloration. So when it's done, I'll have a feather pattern in it, the eyes and the beak, and the eyes and beak will probably be a different material, maybe a black jade, something like that. And the claws on the owl also will be added to it in a black jade. And the mouse might be a quartz crystal or maybe a white jade as well, so get a nice contrast to this piece. So last week I worked on a piece, I was working on a piece that was made up of a variety of different things. And I want to show you how it turned out because I have it finished in here in the studio. So let me come along and just take a look at this. This is a kingfisher, and last week I had it all in pieces. There was a body part, and then there was two wings and a beak, and it was all as a separate piece. So one of the challenges as a gemstone artist that I face all the time is getting the proper amount of material for the subject matter that I wanted to create. So in this case, I was working with lapis lazuli, and I could only get pieces of lapis lazuli that were a certain size, probably just the 6 inches or so was the largest piece that I could get. So I needed to find other pieces that were comparable and colored for the wings and so on. So I assembled it in the manner in which I wanted it to be. So along with that, I've added some quartz crystal to the piece, and also a lovely druzy quartz on the bottom section, and an obsidian with the fish engraved into the bottom part of the base. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about inspiration and the theme behind this piece, to just give you sort of an insight into how I think and where these ideas come from. So wildlife is really my favorite subject matter. I work with that all the time. And birds in particular are a favorite subject. So when I viewed the lapis, I just felt like it was really best suited for a blue-colored bird like a kingfisher is. So that was the start of the thing, and I just thought, well, I wanted a kingfisher, blue birds, and so I started contemplating. I did a lot of research into the bird, got a lot of ideas about how they fly, where they are, and so on, and what's their environment that they live in, and decided that it's best to show them chasing prey or in his water environment. So water environment, I added quartz crystal to resemble the water environment. And so the mystery to me about the kingfisher is they sit up on branches or fly over a river or a pond, but the surface of the pond is always reflective in some way. There's sunlight and it's always moving. It's like, how do they see beyond the surface of the water in order to catch the fish? So I don't know. That's the mystery to me. So that's what the story I wanted to tell in this piece is that in some way he knows where the fish are in his environment, and he's going to dive for the fish. And so in some way it's kind of a secret to the rest of us where those fish are. And so that's how I wanted to portray them, kind of hidden away inside the quartz. And so I've carved it like a relief on the quartz. So you can see it from both sides. So it looks as though they're actually under the water. And I use this druzy quartz as well as kind of like the environmental setting, so that this could look like the lake shore or underwater in some way, and then the base below here could be even deeper, a deeper sense of the water. So the piece is called Kingfishers, or the King's Secret, so stay interesting with the idea. So that's kind of how it goes. It's kind of a building process. So I start with the lapis lazuli as the idea, and then the kingfisher comes along, and then what does the kingfisher do and how does he live in his environment? And then the idea just kind of unfolds. So I really love to work with a lot of different materials because it certainly adds to the interest of the sculpture, and it allows me to construct and build things in a way that gives me a lot of negative space and creates a composition that's interesting and tells a story. So that's what I've been up to over the last week, putting this piece together. And I'm getting ready to take part in a show in Hawaii, and it's going to open on the 26th of January. So this piece and a number of other pieces will be on exhibit there. And it's something that I do annually. It's the annual Art of Aloha show in Lahaina with Lahaina Galleries. So it's something I really look forward to. It's a great opportunity for me to connect with the clients that will be invited to the show. And I find a lot of camaraderie between myself and the artists, that also the other artists that take part in these shows. So it's kind of a nice thing to do once a year, get together with everybody and show my new work, and along with the other artists that bring their new work to show for these shows. So next week at this time, I'll be in Hawaii, and so I'll be broadcasting live from Hawaii, and hopefully we'll be able to get into the gallery and maybe even talk to some of the other artists that are going to be taking part in the show next week, and have you have a look at how I do business and how I show my art to the clients, so you get some broader idea about what really takes place, how the pieces get sold and who they go to. So let me see if you have any questions today. Hi Jess, how are you? And Owl is looking spectacular. Yeah, you're welcome for letting you come into the studio here. So it's my pleasure to show you my studio anytime that I'm working on it. Hey Bo, I look forward to seeing you in Hawaii. I hope you're going to be there. And I know that everybody's been working hard to make this show a successful one, so me included. I'd like to see you. And so if anybody has any questions, feel free to just pass them along, and I will get to them as soon as I can. And hopefully everybody has a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all from Hawaii next week. So thanks for tuning in this time. Bye for now.